What's up everyone, we are here for another Bedwars commentary video, and today we're going to be talking about college, but we're not talking about anything in college, we're talking about the economics major. When I applied, I said I was going to do a computer science major with a dual major in environmental science. And when I came here, I did absolutely none of that. I wrote all my essays in college saying I was going to do all these things. I didn't do any of it, and oh my god, what is this guy thinking he's doing? He has no blocks. He just threw himself in the void. I don't know what he's thinking, but yeah, so I didn't do nothing. I didn't do nothing in life. Is this guy gonna, yeah, he's just gonna go in there again, yeah. I didn't do it, so instead, I was looking, because I was seeing these things, they're probably not the best fit. So I was looking at all the majors, what could I possibly do? And the one that stood out to me was economics. I had an interest in some of the business stuff. It sounded like it was cool. But when I was looking at the curriculum a little bit, I realized that, it didn't really seem like what you would think an economics major is. I feel like when you think about economics, you're thinking, you're gonna look how markets work, how people interact, and how that whole shebang works, how the world works, how business works. And then, when I started looking at it and started taking some of the classes, I learned that, the econ major, it really ain't doing any of that, It's like, you're basically, all you're doing is math and more math, It's just math. You're not doing anything. There's not really, I'm basically finished with the major now. I'm going into my senior year, last year of college. If you ask me, were there any practical uses? Probably not. There probably weren't like a ton. It was just a lot of really hard math, So when you have the econ major in college, the way it starts off is you first do Econ 100. That's just intro to microeconomics. Now in that course, it is basically not that bad. It's just like how people interact with each other. You get the ideas of elasticity, which is basically how much of a, oh my god, I just fell in the void. I almost fell in the void. It's basically the idea of how sensitive people are to price changes. So if you make something, you have an apple, you change the price, so now it's $100 instead of $1. If someone has a very high elasticity, they're going to be very sensitive. But if you have a low elasticity, they're not going to be as sensitive to those price changes. And I'm hoping I got that right. I'm an econ major, but I don't know. But as I was saying, that is how that course is. And then the next course, you shift it up a little bit. You go to more broader economics. You do macro. It's called Econ 200. It's basically Econ 100, except they make it way harder. You have now weekly Friday quizzes, which is not fun. But the one perk of my professor was he basically made it is that you would, first of all, be able to bring notes, which is honestly pretty helpful. You're able to bring one, I think, page of notes. And also, the other perk was I think you only had to get a 60% on the quizzes and you would get full credit on it, which is amazing. But the problem was the quizzes were only 10% of your grade. What was 70 or 80% of your grade were these midterms. You have 3 midterms, and those were not fun at all. Those were 3 random questions. 3 random questions. Oh my god. Oh my god. Hell no. Hell no. We're juking this guy. I just need I'm going for this guy's bed. I'm going for this guy's bed. We're not. And he got me. So that's basically your whole grade. It's these midterms, and the one perk is that they're basically all multiple choice. It's 30 or 40 multiple choice questions. I just need to knock back and stick this guy. He is in the void. So it's it's multiple choice questions. So it's not incredibly bad. And now I need to take this guy out. He has all the gear in the world. I have no idea what I just bought there. Oh my god. But as I was saying, so it's multiple choice. But the problem is that it's insanely hard. It's insanely hard. The questions are all they kind of hurt your brain. I feel like my soul slowly starts to die every time I take one of those midterms. It was not, you know, the most grand or fun experience of all, I would say. And then the problem is, those are the intro courses. So those are like the courses that are like the freebies. Those aren't, those aren't really meant to be anything at all. Okay, I'm just trying to sneak up on this guy. So then, those are just the starter. Then you get to the math courses. You have to take, first of all, let me get this guy's bed. He had a trap. He had a trap. Oh my god. Okay, nice. Can we trick this guy to come out? Is he gonna be willing to come out? I don't know if he is. What the hell? And they got me. Oh my god. So as I was saying, then it gets a lot worse, you know. So now you have to do math. So you have to, those courses, you know, they weren't crazy bad because they were basically no calculus. So it kind of hurt your brain, but it didn't hurt your brain a ton because there wasn't like tons of long algebra. It wasn't too bad. So now you got to take Math 1400 and Math 1410. Math 1400 was not like crazy bad, you know. It's like you have these weekly Friday quizzes. They make them pretty hard, but the thing is, you get like these textbooks for, they call it like the blue book, or I don't know if it's called the blue book. They gave you something. Like they gave you all these practice problems, and basically if you did like all 30 or 50 practice problems, which honestly took a ton of time. It was not fun. It was like going to office hours so much. But if you did all the practice problems, you basically were set and could get like hundreds on the quizzes. But if you did not do like literally every single practice problem, unless you were some crazy genius, like you could get like zeros on those quizzes. So it's like, if you did not lock in, you were cooked. I'm just gonna, please get him. Get him! Thank you, Gray. Great team saved me so much. That is so funny. And does Great Team have a bed? I'm really hoping Great Team does not have a bed. Oh, Great Team has a bed. That is unfortunately speaking. Should I just go for Great Team right now? I honestly kind of just wanted to get gear and kind of stack up, but maybe it's just the move to go for them. But yeah, so that was basically, yeah, that was how it is. It was a lot of work, but if you did the stuff, you were fine. Now, let's shift up to the next course. So that was single variable calculus. Now moving to multivariable calculus, that was not the case at all. Does this guy have a fireball? He is probably gonna fireball me. He's probably gonna break my bed any moment now. I think we're just gonna have to bed trade. I think that is exactly what we're gonna have to do. And he has my bed. My bed be gone. I think honestly at this point, I think we just need to get some emeralds. I'm not gonna lie. Is he gonna fireball me? Probably. Yeah, he's probably gonna fireball me, but that's just life. That's just, you just someone just gotta block them, use your hands, get that hand movement, and call it a day. So as I was saying, we have multivariable calculus, and that was not fun at all. That was like, if we took like Math 1400, all the work I had to put in there, and let's multiply it by 5 times. And also the big part of these courses is they're kind of graded on a curve. So it's basically the people that you're taking the class with kind of matters. In 1400, the competition is like way worse. The competition isn't that bad. You get a lot of the people that aren't in like super quantitative majors. In 1410, every single person that's doing it is either the engineer students, so you got all the engineer students, you got the pre-med students, you got everyone who is like insanely cracked taking that, and it is not good at all. And also, I had a very special professor who is, I guess, known at our school pretty broadly for being a little like, he's known for a lot of different things. One thing, I guess he's known as a furry because his Twitter profile picture has like cat ears or something, but that doesn't matter. That might just be a math professor thing. That's not the problem at all. The problem we had, and I was hoping that could just work. That would have been kind of amazing, but I don't think that's working. I think we're just gonna, is he going for us? Is he going for us? I think he's going for us. So I'm just gonna just drink all my stuff. Let's hopefully we can catch him by surprise. So that wasn't the problem. The furry stuff ain't the problem. The furry stuff is not the problem at all. I need to get out of here. I need to get out of here. Oh my god. Oh my god. He's gonna fireball me. Oh my god. He got me. So, you know, last game, we probably shouldn't have just been, you know, placing blocks. We probably should have gone for the guy, but sometimes life just isn't like that. Sometimes, you know, the stars align, and sometimes things just, it's just how it is. But as I was saying, you know, the furry stuff, that wasn't the problem, you know, that's just like standard math professor type of thing, I think. So that wasn't the concern. The concern was those quizzes that he had us do. We had to do weekly Friday quizzes again, which is not fun. But the problem with this professor was these quizzes were like insanely hard. It was like normally you're in the course, you're meant to just do the blue book. You're meant to do like, there's honestly like, I think there's literally like 200 practice problems. And each of those practice problems would take so much time. So you couldn't really do all of them. What? The guy got me. Okay. They honestly are meant to take insane amount of time. However, can we just get this guy? See, we got him. Okay, should I just go for him with no blocks or anything? I think I should. I'm just gonna throw those in the void. So you can't really do all the practice problems, but normally if you do like most of them, you kind of learn all the concepts. You're chilling. That's normally how it's meant to go. But it didn't go like that. It didn't go like that at all. You know, basically how he did it is you do all the practice problems and then he puts some random stuff on the quiz. And it's just like, and then it's just like you're in a bad spot. So that's kind of how it was. I feel like no matter how he just left the game. That is amazing. See, this is great. And this was actually like the first game too. Our first person, he just kind of kept going in the void. That's amazing. So he kind of just like, I feel like no matter what I were to do, he kind of just did random stuff, you know. It was like those quizzes were not fun. And the thing is, normally in the course, you take in the course in the fall, it's like the averages of the quizzes are like a 90%. And with this dude, the quiz average was like a 60%. It wasn't meant to be like that. So that course was so hard. And he also, the grading was like, oh my god, it was like horrendous. He actually made it, I think he gave like 10% of people in the class A's. I think he gave 28% A's and A minuses, and he gave 30% C's, D's, and F's. He gave more people like C's than A's, which is kind of insane, but it's just how it is. So 1410, it was solid, you know, it was a good experience, but it was like 100 times harder. But it was valuable. So you had to get those out, you know, and it's all math. It's all math. We're going on back to kind of what we were saying before, like this econ major. There wasn't really any practical uses yet. It was just a lot of math, you know, just theory. And then now we started. That was just the intro. So that's kind of just like the weeding out courses. Now we actually get to the real major, which is Econ 2100, which is intermediate microeconomics. We got Econ 2200, which is intermediate macroeconomics. And then you have Econ 2310, which is Econ like econometrics. So you use the R coding language to do a lot of math things. And do data analysis. And then after that, I guess even before that in the middle, you have Stat 4300, Econ 2300, which are like statistic courses. And this guy, he's not, this isn't gonna work. Sir, this ain't happening, sir. Maybe it is happening. You know, I think, I'm not gonna lie, I'm he's trying to go for me. You're not going for me, sir. You're not going for me. And in fact, wait, does this guy not have a bed? Did I really just mess it up? Did I just waste a bridge egg? I'm going for this guy. This guy. Sir, you better run. He better run. Sir, you better run. Because I'm going for you. Oh my god. He is gone. Okay. Well, so that's great that he didn't have a bed. And I still have some stuff, so maybe I can get a speed and 2 bridge eggs, because why not? And I'm going to get a knockback stick. But as I was saying, so that's the major. So now you get to the hard stuff, and all these things you got to use multivariable calculus. And the thing is, how I was saying, Econ 22 or Econ 200, it was very hard, like every time you hurt your brain doing the stuff. So now you basically got all that stuff, except now we got to use all this calculus, and it's like 20 times harder. They like make it like insanely hard. It's like some stuff, like the problem sets I had to do were like 60 pages. But to be fair, I have like very big and messy handwriting. I was with some people, they had a very clean handwriting. Their stuff was like 10 pages because they got that, like, I don't know, do you see those YouTube videos, they have those like nice pens and stuff? I didn't do any of that. They got like 60 pages from me of a bunch of random stuff, It's like you're doing all these things, like you gotta have all these maximization problems. What the hell are these guys doing? These guys are going crazy. I'm just gonna let these guys kind of do what they want to do. I'm gonna let them have fun. I'm just gonna get stacked up a little bit while they do their thing, their shebang. But as I was saying, so it's like very hard, and basically the whole general gist of these things is you do these maximization problems. So you have to you have like problems, you have constraints, you set up using like Lagrange multipliers. You guys, maybe some of you guys know that, I don't know, but like you do that, you set up these maximization problems, you take a derivative, and then that is the whole shebang of the whole course, except the problem is that it's all these different like things, these tidbits. If you do one single thing wrong, you get cooked. You have to basically take all these word problems, transform it into these math equations, and you have to get like every single thing right, or else you basically get like a 0 on the question, because you get these like 10-part questions, and if you get the first part wrong, then everything else goes wrong. So that was not fun at all. Econ 23, 2100, it was like those exams, like I took that last midterm. That last midterm was like, oh my god. It was like, I couldn't even finish it. I had to leave like, I left like there's 3 questions, but each question had like 10 questions. So it's kind of like one of those exams. So it's 3 questions, but it's really 30 questions because you have 30 parts. And I did not even, I couldn't, well, I wrote something for all the questions, but I basically ran out of time. I ran out of time and basically couldn't do any of the third question, which is like a third of your grade. And I somehow did above the median on the exam still. So it's like, it's just like, it's cooked. It's like, they make it very hard, very messed up, not fun at all, but that's just how it is. And then 2200 is basically the same thing, except macroeconomics. It's just a lot of math, they have, I just actually finished it this semester, and yeah, it's just the same thing. You get different scenarios, you're doing math, and I think it's meant to be like, I think it was meant to be like 200 for this stuff, but it was really just like, it honestly felt like a completely different course, You just had random scenarios. It was like people are either, they're in 2 periods or sometimes in infinite periods. They're investing money. You got to create equations. They have consumption preferences, and then you do all this math. And the thing is, I've done basically the whole core curriculum of this major now. I think the problem is, I'm thinking, what did I learn? And the thing is, what I learned is, I feel like part of my soul died. I feel like that's kind of what I learned. It's like you have basically, I had to take like 8 courses or 6 courses. I have no idea how many courses. You had to take all of them. Grading crazy harsh. Tons of people get C's. The medians, you're getting like a B if you're the median person in the course. Very hard to do very well in those courses. So it's like you get that, so it's a little cooked. And then it's just a lot of math. It's just so much math. And yeah, it's just how it is. I forgot, I did not buy an invisibility potion, which is not good at all. I think, honestly speaking, like, is red team over there? Like, where is red team? Because I don't want red team going for my bed, because then that's where we get a slight bit of a problem. That's where we get the slightest bit of a problem. Where is red team? That is the question, because I just want to pearl on these guys and take them out. That's exactly what I want to do. Okay, I don't know where red team is. Maybe red team's going for my base. Maybe it's just gonna be one of those things. We're gonna have to live with that. We're going for you, blue team. Blue team. Wait, is red team going for blue team now? That is actually amazing. So let me get red base. Hopefully, red team gets that little fellow. Let me get all of that. Let me get some of that. Let me get some of that. Why do these guys have such big bed defenses? These guys are kind of going crazy. Okay, so now we just have to finish this game. First off, I'm getting a tracker because I don't trust this guy. He might be running up on me. I don't know what he's going to be doing. Then I'm getting invis speed, and we're finishing this. This ain't gonna last. Is he over there? I think he is. So let's just go and let's finish this game. Is he running? Okay, so we're just gonna pearl. What the hell? He has a bow? Well, I guess I have a bow too. And we got him. Okay, and that is the game. So that was basically the commentary video. So if we're talking about practical use for the econ major, you know, there probably wasn't a lot. You know, I feel like you go the whole econ major, you know, you don't even know the economic theory necessary. You don't know the people like Adam Smith, you know, David Ricardo, the Marx dude with all of his communism. You don't really learn any of that. You just do a lot of math. But the one perk, which is why if I even were in college, I would have definitely still done the econ major. And I think the major is really good, is that it pushes you. It pushes you to be a good thinker. You take a lot of hard courses. And I think the big part is it just pushes you to think deeper, get like very, very good at math and all that stuff. And just having that skills is very valuable. I think that's like the most valuable thing, which is why I would still do the major. But if we're talking in terms of economics, like what did I actually learn? We ain't learned nothing. So that's the Bedwars commentary video. Third video of the channel. If you enjoyed the video, you know, like and subscribe. We're a new channel. We also have a Discord server. You can join it. You can click an emoji to get an OG role to show you were here as we have created this channel. And that is basically it. I'll see you guys in the next video.